Hello and welcome to the panel. We are broadcasting from the 2016 Australasian Championships. I am Liam Minnie Smith, and as always we are joined by two rotating panel members. Today on my left we are very honoured to have Azriel from High Voltage from Adelaide. How are you, mate?
Pretty tired.
Now, despite what your shirt says, you are not in fact Vector, are you?
Correct. I am Azrael. I absolutely guarantee it.
As long as that's sure. Okay, and of course on my right we do have one of the players from, well, Blue Steel, who are actually doing quite well in the competition at the moment. I believe you guys are sitting in second or third?
Yeah, currently sitting in second, so behind the Maroons. So they are the strong team at the moment and the favourites. So trying to catch them is going to be a mission, but we're looking forward to it.
Thank you for being here, Robo. Now, we have actually just started off on the doubles competition after finishing off the first team round robin. Now, where are you guys sitting currently?
I think we're in the top 10 at the moment, but we hadn't played as many games as other teams, so that is a scaled position.
And you guys are sitting second at the moment. Now, going into the Cascades, are you guys worried about the harder and more intense games you'll be playing?
Oh, we're looking forward to it. Cascades have always shown in the past that they can definitely change teams' perceptions of how they're going. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams go up and down depending on how they're playing. And the games just get funner.
Mayhem is always a bit of fun.
That's right.
Now, you guys are just sitting at the top 10, as you said before, which means you will be playing a lot of the lower teams. Do you feel that's actually going to boost you guys up a bit, just to taking confidence into the higher tier games?
I think it's actually the opposite. We've done a lot better than I expected. I'm hoping we won't overstep our mark and get overconfident. We do have two first years on my team this year. I really wanted a relaxed but competitive nationals experience as opposed to a high stress one.
Now, you guys did take out third place last year in Bendigo. Now, why is that very strong team who we saw debut back in, I believe it was Canberra, why are you guys not coming back as that respawn?
We had a couple of issues just with stress, overworking ourselves. We did, I think, 24 hours of training in 2 days, so there was a lot of sleep deprivation. Not that that's changed much this Nationals so far, but I think what I really pushed for was a year where we split across all our teams and train our players up for Nationals next year, which is actually nominated to be in Adelaide, which I represent. So I'm going for a more broader experience and training everyone up, so we're definitely not going to be in the bottom 5 in our own site, and so everyone gets a better experience for it.
A stronger team. Now, the other thing I want to quickly talk about with the Blue Steel team is you guys are notorious, unfortunately, for when it does come to finals. Coming up slightly short, I believe you guys had 3 shots at the Golden Game, 2 shots at the Golden Game last year and still managed to not crack it. Sorry.
Yeah, 3 bites of the cherry last year. And unfortunately, Timmy's team was the last team to take us out. So stuff happens and you just got to deal with it and approach it. We learn a lot from that, and we're hopefully going to apply that this year. Just got to see how we go at this point.
Now, the doubles competition is well underway at the moment. I believe you guys had a very strong showing, 32K, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct, 32K. So quite a shock for myself and my doubles partner Stingray. So got off to a really flying start, although I did deny him in red base after we both cleared it.
2 shots?
1 shot, luckily.
Oh, he won't be your doubles teammate for too much longer then. Now, if you did actually have to pick who do you reckon is going to take it out this year, or even just podium finish, who would you say?
It's a really hard question. There are a lot of strong teams there. I'd have to say Butzer and Ibo are definitely a strong contender. Then you have teams like Mopar and Snake, GMI and Mouldy. And then you've got the interstate teams as well, like Mushu and Ninja. They had a massive game for their first game. So anything can happen. It's the way different people play the arena, and you never know what to expect.
If you did have to put one up there, who you're most concerned about, perhaps?
Probably most concerned about probably Mad Cans, and I think he's with Callum Wooldot. So that is a strong pairing on its own. So Callum's one of the doubles champions from last year. He was with Butzer. So it's going to be interesting to see how him and Cairns do work together in the doubles environment.
Azriel, who are you intimidated by? Who's on your radar?
Well, I'm very overly confident that Robo is going to win doubles, just for the fact that if anyone gets in his way, he will eat them.
That is a very real concern for most of us. Now, here we do like to ask the big questions, and today I'd really like just to quickly talk about the standardisation of Nationals rankings. Now, WA did have a system in place for quite a few years, which rated players ranked on a AAA rating, A, double B, B, C or D, or of course for newer players got E as they were untested. Now, how do you guys think that these rating systems are actually valuable within the zone and within the Australasian competition?
Well, I'm very much not a mathematical person, so a lot of the rankings go over my head. I've seen them work very well in some leagues, local leagues and stuff, but there also, I think, has to be a human element and sensibility built into it. Because, for instance, a defensive player can do amazingly, but they're always going to have a really low solo ranking. So stuff like the solo ladder, I wouldn't say is very reflective at all, just because it doesn't actually indicate a person's skill, just more the role they play and how well and effectively they get points from that role. But ranking as a whole definitely has value, and it's getting refined all the time when we have such amazing geniuses in our sport like Doug, Vector. Everyone working on the tournament scene and coordination is doing a fantastic job, and from my experience always has, and are getting better every year with the organisation.
Speaking about rankings, what would your system or process be? Would you actually limit the amount of, say, top tier players allowed on a team, or would you maybe separate the competition into a lower tier competition, two separate ones, in order to sort of make up for those teams that can't quite do that well because of a lower ranking?
Well, we kind of have the system in place now with the current system we run with the Cascades 1 and 2 that kind of does sort out all that stuff as well. So you can argue that putting a cap on the number of what you would consider senior players would be an option. But at the end of the day, we're pushing at the height of our competition. We want to have the best teams in there as possible. So I think at the moment the system is not so much broken, but obviously refinement can be done down the course. As Tim said, we've got some amazing people that are involved in the sport, such as Doug and Vector, people like that. It just takes refinement over time just to keep working things out. So there are processes in place, as Tim said, in the local leagues. Brisbane and Sunny Coast run their own version of a ranking system as well, and it's done pretty well for us determining handicaps for leagues. So it's just more refinement, more discussion with the committee as how they want to approach it in the future.
Do you think there should be some sort of national ranking systems? I know it is working quite well in Brisbane. I know that it has worked in WA as well. But a lot of sites and a lot of national leagues haven't got any sort of system in place. Do you reckon there should be some sort of national world system that actually does rank players so we do have more of a database?
It would be a nice thing, but the factor that you have to take into consideration is the different arena we play in every year. At the moment, this is like, I'm a Sunny Coast player. This is the next best thing to a home nationals for us here. But you don't know how am I going to react playing at Adelaide next year, for instance, or the Canberra Nationals was not one of my best nationals in 2013. So,
incidentally, it was one of my best nationals.
That's right. That's right. What'd you get first?
No. I wasn't included on that team. We pulled a third, unfortunately. I know. I'm still getting over it very sincerely. Now, before we finish off, I'd just like to quickly talk about how you reckon your team is going to proceed from this. You guys are setting yourselves up for a bit of a tough cascade being placed within that top 10, if not just on the cusp of it. What is going to be your approach when taking on those higher teams?
Well, basically, we have a thing called Sink's List, as a lot of people would know, as a homage to Sink himself, where players describe how they think teams are going to go and players and rank them and what they think the results for nationals will be. We were seeded very, very low. I think it was like 22 or 20th.
I do apologise for that.
Yeah, well, it was surprising, but not overly, because we do have 2 new players. As I said, it's more low-stress team and doing the best we can, hanging out and having a great holiday and playing competitively, which not a lot of teams do. A lot of teams go either fully competitive or fully fun. We tried to walk the line and be right in the middle. To really answer your question, anything in the top 15, I really hope we can make top 15. We do have some very hard games coming up, and I'm trying to be fair in the distribution of our players, because we have 6 players who can only take 5 into the arena. So I'm trying to sit everyone equally until we get to the really, really hard yards, and then we're going to give it everything we can, walk away happy no matter what we get.
Now, you guys have a bit of the opposite problem because you are at the top at the moment. How do you guys think you'll be able to maintain that top position? Being able to play against those top teams continuously must drive down the average a bit.
Yeah, it would definitely drive down your average. The thing we're looking at is just continuing to play within ourselves. We have a bit of confidence after the round robin, trying to maintain that confidence. We know the games are going to get harder. We know they're going to get more difficult. But as I said, they're going to get fun as well. Top players thrive on playing high-level games. So with that in mind, our goal is just keep striving and doing what we're doing and try and creep up and improve that position.
Thank you guys very much for both joining me here today. This has been the panel. We'll see you tomorrow.